Thank you for attending your association annual convention. As we forge ahead in the second year of our new Moose structure, there are still some misconceptions and questions about the importance and value of chapters of the Women of the Moose. Why do chapters exist? How do chapters support our mission? What benefit do chapters provide to lodges? Let's take a few moments to explore these inquiries and more. Is there a need for the Women of the Moose? Absolutely. Sadly, we have closed over 130 chapters since May 1st, 2021. Some were struggling before the transition, but others are just giving up or giving in to negative influence. Social media, disgruntled or misinformed members, tired officers, and uncooperative lodges have been encouraging some chapters to close, but chapters are indeed vital to our overall program, as well as the continued success of Moose Heart and Moose Haven. As you have heard before, the mission and purpose of the Women of the Moose has not changed. Our focus remains on Moose Heart, Moose Haven, and our communities, and we have fun doing it. According to our general laws, the objectives of the Women of the Moose are seen here. So what exactly does this mean? It means we share a bond with other women. We are passionate about our fraternity and share similar interests. It means, at our core, we support Moose Heart and Moose Haven. Emulating the principles of simply reminds us to be a good person. Be kind, generous, optimistic, caring, trustworthy, dependable, loyal, friendly, and open-minded. Our members pride themselves on the amount of their community involvement, and we enjoy serving others. Chapter members promote the Moose by sharing our experience with others and inviting them to join. The belief and fulfillment of these objectives helps promote our lodges and organization as a whole. Additionally, chapters provide an opportunity for girl time. In the planning stages before the One Moose transition, our membership strongly indicated a desire for the continuation of a female-only unit. Chapters give us the opportunity to gather, celebrate, and encourage one another. Enjoyable, supportive relationships can improve one's quality of life. Chapters provide an opportunity for women to be recognized for their efforts and preserve our higher degrees. So if we provide all these wonderful services and opportunities, why are chapters closing at a rate much faster than we ever anticipated? During the pandemic, disorderly, rude, and unhinged conduct seems to have caught on. Bad behavior of all kinds, everything from rudeness and carelessness to physical violence. What is happening? Well, people are stressed out. Society is experiencing a high stress, low reward situation. Rudeness can be contagious and detrimental to our program. It has been found that people spreading their negative emotions towards their colleagues, or members in our case, are up to 3 times less likely to help someone in need. So where does this lead the Women of the Moose? We must find a way to get along and focus on the positive attributes of our chapters. The Women of the Moose are the financial providers for many specific projects at Moose Heart. Chapters donate over $2 million annually for the operation of Moose Heart School. The donations we remit with our 114 forms support physical and occupational therapy for our students, including sporting injuries, speech therapy, life skills, and more. Chapters also make it possible for our kids to enjoy the Christmas season, filled with parties, pictures, and presents. We ensure each new student gets his or her right start. Some of our residents arrive on campus with not much more than the clothes on their back. The Right Start program provides the items and encouragement they need to feel safe, secure, and connected at Moose Heart. The Women of the Moose heavily supports the athletics programs on campus, providing funds for uniforms, cleats, sneakers, equipment, and more. And yes, we recently renovated the auditorium thanks to the generosity of our chapters. Donations to the Scholarship and Maintenance Fund provide educational opportunities for Mooseheart graduates. The Women of the Moose have donated almost $2 million to this fund in the last 5 years. In just the last 2 years, all of our Mooseheart graduates qualified for scholarship money. Who would ensure these financial securities if chapters were no longer in existence? The lodges? Our Moose Legions? Additionally, Women in the Moose dues renewals generate $1.4 million annually designated for the school. How would our lodges react to an ABCD increase to cover these expenses if chapters were not contributing? Similarly, the Women of the Moose provide for the safety and security of our Moose Haven residents. Chapters provide pharmacy assistance and offset vision, hearing, and dental expenses not covered by Medicare and Medicaid. Christmas in October ensures each resident has a joyous holiday season filled with gifts, decorations, and celebrations. The Women of the Moose fund the Moose Haven Beauty and Barber Shop. Everyone wants to look and feel their best. Everyday needs are also provided by our chapters. Everything from deodorant and toothpaste to socks and sneakers. How many times have we repaired the seawall and pier? Mother Nature can take a toll, but the Women of the Moose always come through with donations to make repairs and, more recently, rebuild the seawall and pier. The Katherine Smith Hall was fully funded by chapters. It offers state-of-the-art facilities for those residents living with dementia and Alzheimer's. These are just a few examples of how many programs the Women of the Moose provide for our beloved residents. Donations to Moose Haven from chapters totaled over $1.6 million in the last 5 years, and that doesn't include the $2.3 million the Women of the Moose donated to help build Centennial Hall, the place our traditional residents call home. Let's not forget the ongoing support of charitable giving. Chapters continuously donate to the Endowment Fund and helped build the Mooseheart Activity Center. They send cards and gifts to our Sunshine children and grandparents. Many chapters make special donations to homes and residences, purchase wish list items, and provide funds for special events and activities on both campuses. The list of projects funded by the Women of the Moose goes on and on. The pool, various buildings and renovations, the pier, the gymnasium. When there's a need, the Women of the Moose are available to make dreams become realities. Furthermore, chapters provide a substantial amount of community service. During the 2021-22 fiscal year, the Women of the Moose provided over $15 million to community endeavors. So what would be the impact on our lodges if chapters didn't exist? Lodges don't remit 114 forms with donations. Imagine the financial impact on your lodge if it had to take on the projects we've discussed earlier. What would happen if chapter donations were no longer being contributed? All of our Moose units are committed to maintaining the highest level of care for our kids and seniors. Our chapters help make that possible. If chapters didn't exist, the lodge would no longer receive any residual income from them, no help paying taxes, no donations to offset operational expenses or help improve the Moose home. The chapter is vital in helping your lodge on many levels. If chapters help lodges, how can the lodge help the chapter? The lodge has the responsibility to allow the chapter to conduct fundraisers and events, as well as provide adequate meeting space. Maintaining open lines of communication is a shared responsibility of both lodges and chapters. Plan ahead, ask permission as warranted, share concerns, offer assistance, discuss solutions, and remain respectful. Lodges and chapters that work together are the most successful. One ongoing misconception involves chapter funds. Does the lodge have control over chapter accounts? No. Chapters are not committees of the lodge. Chapters are units of the Moose. Chapters maintain their own membership and financial records, just like our Moose Legion jurisdictions. That said, chapters are indeed encouraged to help the lodge as funds permit, with approval of the chapter membership, of course. We must be mindful, however, that chapters have a commitment to provide monetary donations each and every month to Moose charities. So what's next? Will chapters continue to exist? For the foreseeable future, yes. Our members weren't ready to eliminate chapters or Moose Legions with the implementation of the One Moose structure. While many chapters have closed or merged, many of them were experiencing hardship prior to the transition. The One Moose Committee anticipated a loss of chapter members. It's an unfortunate reality of the transition. Not all chapter members were active chapter participants. Some were social members and never attended chapter meetings or had a desire to serve in a leadership position. Chapter membership was their only way of obtaining the privileges of Moose membership. Moving forward, chapters will likely appeal to those female members who desire to do more for the fraternity by serving in office, earning degrees, and providing a deeper level of service. As chapter membership decreases, will the chapters become jurisdictional like the Moose Legion? Maybe. Will the chapters and Moose Legions merge into some new type of higher degree unit? Perhaps. Will higher degrees remain the same? For now. This transition is ongoing, and you, the members, will help drive our future. Thank you for your attention. Together, we will make it happen.